Given that the SEC has opened inquiries into Tesla, namely Musk's communication and how he reveals information, is this risky?
Yeah, I don't think this calms investors or folks involved in the company. Obviously, these aren't the types of tweets or the types of public statements you're normally accustomed to getting from chief executives about if someone broke down in an interview or not. Again, these aren't violations of securities laws. Obviously, nothing was mentioned in that regard. But following the basically the closure or the idea of taking the company private, that ending a few days ago, that doesn't mean the SEC stops looking at that statement. Even though they're not going to go forward with that plan, or at least that's the current state of play, the agency is going to look at the kinds of statements, the factual basis, all of that. So in terms of his latest tweets, I don't think it would probably give a lot of investors, wouldn't calm them that, they'll probably expect some more impulsive statements in the future as well.
Now, the SEC is denying that they are investigating Tesla. What do we know? Well,
the SEC never confirms or denies any probe. That's kind of their standard language. I mean, we've reported that they were looking at this tweet, and we've also reported that the agency was looking at Model 3 production numbers even before this talk of taking the company private. So the SEC doesn't confirm or deny. I mean, that's their standard language. But as we've reported and others, that there is an ongoing investigation going.
But what do we know about the likelihood? I mean, we've had former SEC lawyers on the show who've said, given that they are clearly sending subpoenas out, that means there's an open investigation or signals an open investigation.
Right. So when you send out a subpoena, that's a formal request for information, that says, hey, we want all the communications from, Elon, the board, what was discussed and when. So another thing to point out is that these investigations take years. I mean, the average investigation takes about 2 years. We've written about how the agency is probably going to want to move faster than that here because this is, given with the tweet, it's a pretty finite amount of time. There's a pretty definite amount of evidence to gather. So they should be able to turn around, make a determination if securities laws were violated on that tweet relatively quickly, more quickly than other investigations that they do.